So the law envisions 5 licensed companies. That's 1 per borough and nothing for upstate.
What the law envisions is, right now, and in my opinion, I don't think it's enough. I think we need to expand it. 5 license holders. The question that is before the Commissioner of Health right now is, do those license holders, are they sole licenses? So there is the possibility that you could have 5 license holders with multiple sites, and that license holder can have 4 dispensaries.
The law provides a minimum of 5, but potentially gives Department of Health the opportunity to expand that. And people in New York City think that New York State ends at the Tappan Zee Bridge, but New York State is big. It's 7 hours from here to Buffalo. It's 6 hours from here to Plattsburgh. You want to make sure that there are dispensaries within reasonable driving distance of the cancer patient in Elmira.
Let's say I'm a cancer patient. I'm getting chemo, and I've got a prescription now for medical marijuana, and I've got to pay cash for it. Is my insurance company going to pay for that?
At this point, the New York State law provides that insurers are not compelled to cover medical marijuana. They're obviously free to do that. And I think that ultimately insurers are going to recognize that often medical marijuana is a superior treatment option. But I think that at the beginning, it's likely that there will be a patchwork, and for many people, they'll have to pay out of pocket.
That certainly sounds like it's going to limit the audience, doesn't it?
Well, look, I think a lot of things in this statute are going to make it hard to develop the industry. There's the kill switch, there's the 7-year sunset, and to the extent that the regulations are not entrepreneur friendly, that might be a problem.
There's this language in the law that describes the need for labor peace. What's that about?
What that really means is that you can't require them to organize, but that the employer won't fight organizing efforts if, in fact, the employees want to become organized.
I don't think that's an economic issue as much as, especially at this point in the industry with the margins that exist. Now, if that contracts over time, that could be a bit of a different situation. Responsible legislation ultimately equals responsible business. So if they build an entrepreneurial-friendly market here, it's going to give us the opportunity to be able to support those wages, essentially.
Doug Green from Empire State Normal. DOH is going to set the prices under this bill. And how do you feel about the business risk of having DOH set a price that's too high or too low?
We actually raised the question, how will you determine what the price is? And the answer I received was the state police will essentially provide to us what the black market price is, and we'll kind of go from there.
No entrepreneur likes prices being dictated. I mean, that's the easy answer. My understanding is, in my experience, is the Department of Health is going to be open to suggestions of where to set those prices, and we'll create something that's economically sustainable. Because if they don't, ultimately the patient's going to suffer and not get a good product, or get a program like in Jersey and other places that just isn't materializing.
Right.
Well, one of your colleagues, I believe Liz Kruger, has indicated that she's going to introduce legalizing recreational use. We just got medical use approved. Is this a way station to something else?
It's changing generationally, and there's a belief that marijuana has a medicinal value, but I don't think we are anywhere near it in New York yet.
You've got to walk before you run. And going back to the recreational piece, I'd love to see the medical program here develop before anybody even starts talking about recreational. Granted, I'm an entrepreneur, and the recreational numbers make a lot of sense, and Colorado's seeing that to this day. However, if the program falls on its face and you don't have the bandwidth and the time to control divergence and those types of things, that's where you're going to fail if you jump into recreational overnight.